Hi everyone, and welcome to Billy Fitzgerald Golf. And today we're going to talk about making sure that you have a full enough turn and how that relates to getting to your left side or front side properly. So the first thing we're going to address is, and that we've addressed in the past, is how this right hip, or your trail hip and your trail shoulder move out of the way to make room for your arms to swing down into the ball. But I think one significant thing that we've left out is, where does this shoulder go, and how do I know when I have enough turn? We've talked about the leg a little bit, but let's talk about the shoulder. I think this will help a lot of people, and it'll help you with how do I get left properly. So just to review, as you swing back, because of my tilts, or because my hips and shoulders need to go around my spine angle, as we tilt over in the golf swing, this hip and this shoulder need to go back and up. So that, again, creates room for my arms. If you only look at it that way, it can cause some confusion and you might not be able to get the full picture. Yes, we want that hip and shoulder to go back and up, because again, it's going around my spine angle and we're starting to get out of the way. But I think something that's overlooked is where this shoulder goes. This shoulder has to go back far enough to really pull this trail side out of the way. So what we're going to focus on is how to get this shoulder over to this foot a little bit. So what I want you to do is go ahead and set up, and we're going to use the part of a 4-step drill to put your shoulder where we want to. So when you set up, this shoulder has to go, try to feel like it goes at least to your inside trail foot. So your front shoulder's got to go all the way back here. Okay, now the reason that we're not going to sway with that is, again, what we've done in previous videos is this hip and this shoulder, it's going back and up. So this is going back and up, and this shoulder is going all the way back over here. So we're really getting a full turn, but making sure that you're keeping, that pressure on the inside part of your foot. So it'll be a lot like a tug of war. I'm always trying to feel like I'm pushing away from the club. So as the club's going this way with my lower body, as the club's going that way, I'm pushing away. My hip is going back and up. My shoulder's going this way. So you can see I've pretty much got my upper half's going this way and my lower half's actually going towards the target. If I had nothing going over, if the swing wasn't going behind me, it would pretty much go, I'd be right on my left side, and I'd have a little bit of a reverse weight pivot. You can see that happens because my shoulder hasn't pulled me this way. This is what puts me into my trail foot. So what I'm not doing is I'm not trying to weight shift back over here. I'm not trying to swing back over here. Okay, what's happening is the club is going this way, and I'm pushing back away from it, which is pulling my hip back and away from the golf club here. So again, from down the line, when you see this, as I'm pushing away, the club's going this way, and I'm pushing all the way back here. So I'm going the opposite direction. So what we can do is called the 4-step drill. So the first thing I want you to do is hinge the golf club up onto your shoulder. The next part in this drill is where you're going to have to focus. This left shoulder's got to go inside your foot, and this hip and this shoulder is going to push back. That's going to put you into a position where A, you're behind the golf ball, and B, you're not swaying. So it puts us into a really good position up top. The last thing that it does is it gives me more leverage into this left leg. Okay, so when I swing back, again, and this hip and this shoulder are getting out of the way, and I'm pushing away from this club, right? What it's doing is it's really opening this up. And by the time I get all the way back over here and I'm pushing away from the club, and all of a sudden the club starts going back towards the target, and that's what puts me left. So for a lot of us that can't get over to our left side, again, this shoulder has to go more. This front shoulder goes more, so it makes my trail foot push more. In other words, if I set up and only swing to here, right, there's not a lot of pressure in this trail leg because this shoulder hasn't gone far enough. Now as the shoulder starts to go more and more and more and more, see, I start to feel even more pressure into this foot because this shoulder is bringing it over more, which is eventually, when the club starts going towards the target, it's going to put me on my left leg, and then I can push away and let my arms go. So there's, again, two birds with one stone with this left shoulder. It's doing a lot by just being placed on the inside part of your trail foot. It's getting this shoulder and this hip out of the way a little more. And by doing that, it's making your leg push even harder, because now you've got more driving into it. And now we can get left a little easier. So it really, just by, if my shoulder doesn't reach its potential or final destination, I should say, this front shoulder, then I'm not going to get turned enough, which is a problem for my arms. Don't have enough room to swing into, and then it's hard for me to get left without coming up and out of it, you know, out of my right side trying to get me left. So let's do the 4-step, and then we'll hit a few swings so we can kind of put this together. So our focus is left shoulder over to my trail foot, left shoulder over to my trail foot, so it helps me get this side of my swing or this side of my turn more out of the way, and now it's easier for me to get left. So we'll do it with the 4-step drill. So again, we'll get ready to go, hinge, turn all the way back. Now I can feel like I'm all the way back here, and now I'm just gonna feel like my left leg pushes out of the way and I hit my ball. But I feel a tremendous amount of room for my arms to swing there. So now what I would have you do is do one practice 4-step, a practice swing, and then hit your ball. So you're gonna feel how much more, how your swing feels so much more dynamic and athletic for sure. You've gotten a lot more room. You're gonna start to feel the ground. So there's a lot more presence when you do this. So we'll do one 4-step drill. So it's hinge, turn all the way back here. See, now I can feel like my left leg can push away, because I've pushed all the way back here. Now when the club goes back over here, it puts me left. Okay, now let's make a practice swing. So again, get ready to go. I'm gonna feel this get out of the way, but this shoulder's going down and way back now. Now I feel like I'm in the ground with my left leg. So we'll go ahead and hit one. So it really gives me a nice coil. It really coils me up. I can produce a lot of speed through that without a lot of effort. I've got more turn, more room. I can use the ground. There's so many benefits to making sure that you can do this correctly. So if you're having trouble getting behind the ball or getting left, give this a shot, and you can get behind the ball. You'll have a way more athletic swing. Hi everyone, like and subscribe to my channel, Billy Fitzgerald Golf, for all tips on golf. If you'd like a live lesson or want to send me a message, visit me at billyfitzgeraldgolf.com.